Marit. And Chemosh said unto me, go seize Nebal against Israel. So I proceeded by night and fought with it from the crack of dawn to midday. And I told it, and I slew all of them, 7,000 men and boys and women and maidens, because I dedicated it to Ashtar Chemosh. I took the vessels of Yahweh, and I dragged them before Chemosh, and the king of Israel had built Yahaz, and he dwelt it in while he was fighting with me, but Chemosh drove him out before me. So I took from Moab 200 men, and
with those heathens that really didn't understand it was according to the Most High's will that he was allowing those groups it had nothing to do with Chemosh. All right, their idol has no power within it. It was the Most High was giving Israel into the hand of those Moabites. You know, but that was because King David had raised up an adversary in these nations, man, when he had them in subjection. So when his kingship went down, basically Israel was no longer a threat, because his mighty men and all those men that was responsible for keeping the kingdom intact, they were no longer there. And the Most High basically, that was after Solomon, that was when the kingdom split, and the northern kingdom was given to a wicked king Jeroboam, and then you had Rehoboam over the south. All right, and basically Israel went into shambles, man.
From that moment on.
From that moment on.
Went from king to king, and
the kings was dying.
And everybody was coming after us, man. The king of Assyria, the king of Babylon,
he kept
the
trying to
Moabites.
Kept trying to hold off the king of Babylon. Hey man, we can't beat you, so we just gonna pay you. Trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah, man.
They kept coming. They saw that we was divided and weak.
Yeah, but what this proves is what that says in Apocrypha, he that teaches his son grieveth the enemy.
That's right.
You know?
I was getting to that.
Because you teach your son war, and you teach him who their enemies are.
Yep.
You know?
So like, I remember what I was gonna say. Then y'all can finish that. Then I still got some rock 30.
Oh, Con, even in that movie Black Panther, it showed that, you know? Because what happened, what's the actor name, the light-skinned dude?
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, when he was he was basically raised in America, but his father was brothers with the king, with T'Challa dad. But he knew that Esau was the enemy. That's why he tried to basically transport those weapons, those Wakanda weapons, to America, so that the Jakes here could fight. You know, because he seen the wickedness that was done unto him.
Yeah, didn't they use that Edomite dude?
Yeah.
What's that? You got the buff dude with the one arm, right?
Yeah.
He used them, man.
Con.
Exactly right. What I was gonna say was, shit, I lost it. Damn, I'm gonna let that go. No. Slack. Charleston Heston in Planet of the Apes, what he said was, because our people are so nice and docile, he said, well, if this is the most we gotta deal with, we can take this place over with 60 men in 3 weeks. Or something, I forgot the exact quote, but it was something like that.
That was the same thing that Christopher Columbus said.
Right, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
If this is the toughest people, we'll get this in no time. We'll take this over in no time.
Go ahead. And back that account up with the Moabite stone, it's actually in the scriptures, man. That's why you got to know the history, man. This is Second Kings 3:4. It says, and Mesha, king of Moab, was a sheep master, and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with the wool. But it came to pass when Ahab was dead, King Ahab, that king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel. And that's where that whole account, that's where that stems from. There was a rebellion that started to happen. But it wasn't just from the Moabites, Esau too. It tells you that in 2 Kings, the 8th chapter, that they also rebelled from the kingdom of David, the kingdom of Judah. You know? Because they remembered what King David and Joab did when they went over there into Mount Seir. They slew all those men and had them fleeing down to Egypt, while they was taking their women. You know?
They remember it to this day, man.
Yep. Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, and all these meetings in the United Nations, you know, all these other councils they have, you know, the EU and NATO. All right, they conspire against the Israelites, man. All right, those heathen nations conspired against us, man. Go ahead.
The name of they have come. They have said, "Come and let us cut off from being a nation."
Yeah, cut the Israelites off from calling themselves Israel, from cutting off their heritage. All right, from taking the knowledge of them worshiping the Most High, His law, statutes, commandments. Cut them off of that, man. All right, beat their heritage out of them, man. All right. And that was all ordained by the Most High, man. All right, in Jeremiah 17 and 4. All right, that was all ordained by the Most High. But that's why we out here to tell you, man. Your enemies don't love you, man. All right, look at the other nations as your enemies, man. They don't have your best interest at hand, man. All right, they're here to destroy you, man, and keep you down, man. All right, go ahead.
That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent.
Hey, but the Most High, He's raising up His elect, man. Like I said earlier, man. His elect don't know that they're Israelites, man. All right? His elect is going to know that the other nations are the enemy, man. All right? Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee. The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
The houses of Edom, which is the so-called white man. The Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs. All right? They open little bodegas in the hood and shit, the corner stores.
7-Elevens.
All right? They feed you all kind of abominations, man. All right? Take advantage of you, man. All right? They might smile in your face, but, you know, in the back of their minds, they call you niggas, man. All right? They call you derogatory names, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. They want to sleep with our women. All right.
Oh, and since you said that, Esau and Ishmael, man, they treat our women like straight up filth, man. They do what their heart's desire with your women.
And our women accept it because it's Esau.
Yeah.
If Jake was treating his woman like Esau did, shit, our woman would cuss us out, try to take everything we got, then leave us.
Yeah, man. They really, especially the women of our nation that are like the scum of our nation, the ones that sell themselves out, they sell their bodies and their souls for any little material gain.
Gucci purse.
You know, those Saudi princes and these old Edomite, wealthy, rich Edomites, and they take advantage of that. All right, and they do all type of debauched, depraved sexual acts with our women. Yeah. And these are the same women that you niggas go on Instagram and like and talk about how you want to wife them. You know, you're nutting them and raise children with them. Yeah. These same bitches are getting flown out and they getting all type of shit done to them that's below human.
Yeah, Bob.
Great.
All right.
Arab Emirates. Yeah. They get pissed on, shitted on. Yeah. All for what, 10,000 or some shit.
Gangbanger out.
Yep.
She get banged out by the whole family.
And his friend.
He'll let yeah, man.
By Labib.
Let their sons hit right after them.
They sons be 12 years old, smashing these raggedy bitches, man.
Yeah. And then she come back to America, and then she gonna put up those little selfies in a nice ass suite with money and you know, a roll in a nice car, a luxurious car.
Kind of saying, wish I could go back.
You know? Yeah.
But that's how destroyed our people are, especially our women.
But they're showing you that they're your enemy by treating your women like they're not women.
Inhumane.
These are supposed to be your wives that are supposed to help raise your children, but your enemy is flying her out and peeing and nutting in her face, all in her eye and her nose, doing the whole nine, man.
Our women of any nation are an integral part of that nation.
Okay.
Like oh, Baba Kashaw, can I get something? Get First Esdras. I think it's like in the 3rd chapter. When it's talking about women have rule over, because they're an integral part of our nation.
3?
Yeah, I think it's 3 is where it starts at. I wouldn't know this one, but I know it's
Also Isaiah 3.
Okay.
Women rule over them.
Yeah.
These women rule over you jakes, man. And that's how Esau is able to get through to you jakes, is through your women. You know? You got a lot of so-called Edomite, so-called white supremacists that hate niggas, but they actually marry black women and have seed with them. So a lot of the traitor women of our nation, they actually bring forth his seed. You know? He has a low sperm count, like their birth rate is very low. So instead of popping his own women, he's using the women of the tribes to keep bringing forth his seed.
Bro.
You know? That's why a lot of you women of our nation, man, you're the biggest traitors, man. You know? You're the biggest traitors, man. I ain't saying every last one of you women, but the majority of you are a bunch of traitors, man.
Even they show you that in the show, Dear White People.
Yeah.
The main girl who's supposed to be pro-black and all that for her people, she smashing a white dude.
That's all a front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all those pro-black feminist bitches, man, listen, all those so-called nigger women that's feminists, and they claim to be pro-black and they try to step out on so-called black matters or issues, man, who's right starts hand in hand with them? The so-called white woman. All she is just a proliferator of so-called white supremacy. But she does it under the pretense of being for the cause of her own people.
Right.
Yeah, right? She's really upholding Edomite supremacy. That's all she's doing. Okay.
Yeah, one banker guy, George Soros, man. He funds all that Black Lives Matter shit.
He puts money towards taking himself down.
And then puts a nigga woman as the head of it to make the fool you niggas thinking that she's leading this and she's funded it and she's advocating doing all that. Man, these nigga women is always been in bed with Esau, man.
The devil, man.
Because she's not wise enough to double cross him.
No.
They made that pack in the garden, man. The garden of Eden, man.
Bring that up.
This is First Esdras chapter 4 and 13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king.
I'll tell you why. Why women are so important. This is why women are important in their role, though. But only a strong-minded man could keep them in that role and limit them to that role. Because when you start putting them all out of the role, bad things happen, man. Go ahead, bro.
Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule of sea and land.
Yeah, so you can't make babies without women, man. That's a part of your nation growing, being fruitful and multiplying is through women. And you're not just gonna lay down with any old sloppy ass woman. You're gonna try to get something good for this thing. Something with a similar mind to you that's gonna help you guide your family right. That's what you would hope to do anyway, if you're in your right mind. Go ahead.
Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards.
They nourish up the women. I mean, the women nourish up the children who then plant the vineyard. So it's not the wine that came from it. Those that planted the vineyard came out of women. That's the point he's making there. Go ahead. And they were born the king. The king came out of was nourished up by a woman. going, bro.
Planted the vineyard from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Yeah, we need women. I don't even need you to read no more, bro. That's it. Women are an integral part of what happens in a well-run nation. Okay, they're important. They born all the people. And tell me somebody that didn't come of a woman. Yeah, I wish I came of a woman. Everybody comes out of a woman's womb. Even with your virgin birth, but
in these days, Esau, you know, he can make any laboratory babies and shit.
Test tube babies and shit, right?
Yeah, the difference between the elect men is we're born of the Spirit, man.
That's right.
We're reborn of the Spirit. Right.
Born again, man.
That's right.
We're born of the Spirit. So the men of the elect are not don't succumb to the feminine wiles, man.
Con.
All right, we're not of this world, man. The woman's of this world. All right. And you niggas that bow down to women are of this world, man.
Right.
All right. If you're born of the Spirit, you know what the woman's purpose is, man.
Right.
You know she made a pact with Satan in the Garden of Eden, and you know not to trust her ass, man.
Like
she's the enemy as well, man.
In Sirach 26, you alluded to earlier, and the 25th, but the 26th chapter it says, "Keep her in straightly, and don't marvel not if she trespass against you." A woman, if you leave her kind of the freedom, give her too much liberty, she gonna do some wicked ass shit, man.
God, you gotta set boundaries, bounds.
Got to, and you gotta enforce those boundaries.
Right.
But you gotta be aware of it and see it coming, because they're simple creatures. I hate to say it that way. They're not real deep, but they're real important though. You know, because if we can't do everything as men. Some jobs are just for women. I can't breastfeed my babies, nourish them up. I don't have time to stop this war, to go and make sure there's dinner for the kids, on whatever else. There's more important things that are at hand here. But what happens in this society? Those same women that are supposed to have these submissive thoughts are now got these masculine thoughts being pushed out in society. That's starting to rule situations and rule households and rule nations. They rule our nation. We should just bring that out. Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Isaiah 3 and 12. I'll hold it. No, you got it, bro. I got this. I got it for you. Isaiah chapter 3. Yep. Isaiah 3. Isaiah 3 and 12 says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them."
That's right. The Lord is talking to the men of Israel, man. Yep. The women rule over the men, man.
It's not destroyed. Right. I don't know what our people are.
Our people are destroyed, man. All right, our men are destroyed, man, because the nation starts with the man, man. Because the man push forth the ways of the ways of life, as you could say, on the earth, man.
Yep.
All right, but it has to be through the power of the Most High, man, and through His Son, man, to enforce the ways of righteousness on the planet, man. So our men, in majority, don't have that ruling class mentality. Don't have that judgment of the Heavenly Father. You know, thus causes confusion, man. All right, and men are weak to women. All right, because women are our glory, man. All right, it says that in 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter, no, the 11th chapter. All right, women are our glory, man.
You can tell when a man has a good woman or has a woman around him, he deals different.
Yeah.
You know, shit don't bother him the same.
Yeah.
You know, he don't feel as oppressed.
A woman's supposed to calm you down, man.
Right.
All right. But not in this society, man. Like, okay,
this
society's hell, but you know, if you're an Israelite man in society, you catch hell from work. At least you can come home and see a woman and she serve you, she massage you, make you feel better. That makes the hell bearable, man. But we can't even have that, man.
You come home and you be at work at slavery at work and be like, fuck, I'm about to get off. You know there's an argument waiting for you at the house.
Catch more hell at home with your woman than at work with Esau, man.
Yep. That's how it works out for a lot of us now.
Hey, it's hell all around, man.
Yep.
That's why I can't wait till America be destroyed. Man.
That's right.
That's why it says in Micah the 7th chapter, it says, and then she that is mine enemy, you know, basically
shall see it.
Shall see it, yes.
She gonna see all this destruction, man. All right, and she gonna be trodden down. All right, she better humble down, man. All right, and hopefully, man of the Lord have mercy on her.
I got this.
Yeah, I got something. This is Sirach 26 and verse 2. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband."
And you women, you females in these churches ain't virtuous, man.
Kind.
So don't let the word virtuous woman, and you go to church, don't let that fool you, man. You're not virtuous, all right? All right, you're the most wicked of women in these fucking churches, man. All right?
Yeah, shit, really, she's out of order to begin with just for bringing him to that church.
Yeah.
As you allowing the influence and the energy of another man to rule over your wife.
Yeah.
He's basically teaching your woman, and that's against the scriptures. Yeah. And she actually is more inclined to listen to the pastor than to listen to you.
But talk shit if you correct something that you don't believe that he say.
She ain't virtuous, man. It says, "A virtuous woman rejoiceth of her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace."
In peace, man. All right? You get with a woman, she brings you fucking just all war, man. It always has to be a battle, man. You know? On who obtains the power, man. It always has to. This earth is about power, man.
You want to deal with a woman and you be like, man, I just want to, so now I can just kick it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's so messed up nowadays. You can't tell your woman you want some sex tonight. And I'm sorry, baby, but I want a hot meal and I want some sex. I want to go to sleep. She don't understand. It's a big deal. And she don't, it's become a big deal about it. Damn, I can't be honest with you. Of all people, I'm intimate with you. I can't be honest with you. That's the dynamic that's been created by giving these bitches liberty, man. Straight up. Now they feel like they gonna play the games to have some type of power trip over you and control you with they box, with their pleasure box. It's a messed up thing, man. That's why Paul said it's better you don't have one.
Right.
That's not for everybody, but I'm just saying it's better because you're gonna have trouble in the flesh.
The scriptures say, man, the vengeance is gonna fail.
Yep.
And it's failing. Because real men of the Lord, we don't give a fuck about your box. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me get this.
Look at the women going down there in Venezuela, man.
Yeah.
That's coming up to America, man. I can't fucking wait.
I
can't wait, man.
I got $2, baby.
I can't wait till I see you. I can't wait till I see you women grovel, man.
Kind.
Real.
All right.
Right.
If I'm part of the elect, man, you women gonna have to be just. You gonna have to be kneeling, man. For me to take you, man.
And I want to that you said that you know when a man has a good woman by how his countenance and how he he doesn't look too distressed all the time. He look like he's a little healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is Sirach 26 and 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones.
Hey,
man, that little belly on him.
Yeah, because
man looking all good. Skin is flush and smooth and glowing and shit. That's what happens, man. When a man's getting well taken care of and his emotional needs. Men got emotions. Right. We're not completely emotionless. We're just in better control of them than women.
Yeah, men love harder than women, man.
Yeah.
Women love their hair. That's why they see the so-called black women. That's why the fake hair weave industry is a $5 billion business.
Yeah.
All right? Because women love their hair, man. Men love the woman.
Their glory is their hair.
That's right.
Yeah.
What does that saying go? A man will love a woman, but a woman will only love what the man can do for her.
Kind.
It ain't true she loves. That's why you don't fall in love with her, man.
That's right.
Yep.
You don't fall in love because she's not in love with you.
Kind.
All right?
Kind.
Straight up, man.
If you always have that in the back of your head,
Yeah, you remember that?
You won't. You're not gonna submit to these women.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be fooled by it. You know.
Yeah, a lot of these simp-ass entertainers, they gotta learn the hard way. They gotta learn the hard way. These ball players, these athletes.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah, they gotta figure that one out, man.
Kevin Hart, old bitch ass, fucking crying. No, I apologize to my wife. I made a mistake. And blah blah blah.
Tyrese.
Yeah, you the king. You the king of comedy right now. You gotta go
You have
apologize
any
to
woman
a
that
ragged.
want.
Yeah.
Apologize to a ragged ass woman. You can have any woman you want on the planet that that you want.
You making all that money. You like you said, top comedian.
Everything going for you.
Man.
But you gotta go apologize to her. It's crazy, man, and that's this matriarchal society, making men all effeminate.
Yeah.
The Most High is not dealing with it. Where's that script at? Is that Peter's?
The effeminate.
Nor effeminate, nor
That's Corinthians.
2 Corinthians.
That's why King David, he had many wives. King
Con.
Solomon had many wives.
Right.
Kind.
You know,
that's a checks and
because they was masculine, man.
Kind.
They want more than one woman, man. You know.
Hey, if his father King David was going, cause he had more than one wife also.
Oh, of course.
If he was going over to get variety of spices from America before it was established, if he wanted variety in his food, you think he wouldn't want variety in his bedchamber?
Yeah, it said that in the scriptures. King David, when he took over